Welcome to another edition of Blue Monday, but again, not quite a Blue Monday because it's a very upbeat edition. Matt was there at Old Trafford. How was it? The away end sounded amazing.
It was a boss away end.
Yeah.
Like, I've not been to as many ways this year, mainly, due to financial constraints and getting married and actually having to spend time with other people.
Actually doing stuff that's not heaven.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But it was great. It was just... It was basically what I think you expected after the Chelsea game, don't you?
Yeah.
You sort of, everyone's in a good mood. You go in there, Duncan's going to be on the sidelines. It was a bit of a free hit game for us. I love the going down, we stay up and win the cup song. That's fantastic. And I think it's so evident the way that was born out of a 5-2 defeat at Anfield. Like the lads and girls in the brick singing after that game. That was getting an airing, but no, it was a great away, and everyone was happy. Everyone was behind the team. Everyone was behind Duncan, and it was just a really nice day, all in all.
Does it feel to you, just on that song and stuff, and the way everyone sort of got galvanised and got behind Ferguson, does it feel to you like we're getting a bit of that Seeds mentality back? That we always used to have, because as shit as it was in the 90s, we always had this mentality like we had our backs to the wall and everyone was in it, and that's kind of gone in recent years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think we've spoken about like the moods of the fan base a lot, haven't we, this season, like in terms of the apathy and that sort of thing. But I think it's one of them where we have, because it got to a position where things have been so bad that it's sort of like, bloody hell, we all need to wake up a little bit and get behind these lads. And I think that sort of thing has helped. Obviously Duncan's helped by his attitude and the way he set the team up and the results that have followed. But yeah, all in all, it feels like there's a lot more unity there. The result yesterday, I think, was born out of togetherness. The players at the end were all giving each other high fives, sort of reveling in the results. Duncan obviously came over and singing Everton songs in front of the fans and all that. There was so much togetherness on show yesterday, apart from, as we're going to get on to, Moise Keane, because a very lonely figure.
Should we get that out the way now?
Yeah.
Matt, as well. Yeah. It's been, well, it's not going to be an elephant in the room because we're sorting that now. But it's been picked up on a lot by the press. It's been picked up on weirdly on Twitter by people who've got nothing to do with Everton or Juventus or anyone connected with them in any way. The general consensus being that it was a bit of a disgrace, but we were talking about it just before we started. As the manager, he probably didn't handle it as well as he could have done. I think ignoring him when he came off, but then I think he did that to Richarlison the other day. I think it could be one thing where he's so focused on the game. It did look a bit out of order, but he is the manager. He had to preserve that result, and if he didn't think that Moise Keane was doing enough, and we could have lost the ball, and because they were breaking quickly, and what did you make of it?
I think this is. So I think there's a lot of different things. I've got a piece on the site going up about this later. We'll try and sort of break it down, how I feel about it. And I put on Twitter.
We'll put a link in the comments.
Yeah, I put a post on Twitter yesterday, and on reflection, I didn't really articulate myself very well with it. But so first of all, put yourself in Duncan Ferguson's position. So he's in charge of the football club it's going to be probably a short period, isn't it? We think still. Let's talk about Ancelotti today. What's he been told by his bosses to do? Short-term results. Ultimately, that is sacrosanct at the moment because we are still 16th in the Premier League table. We need results. That is first and foremost, and that comes before absolutely everything. It comes before, player preference. It comes before player development.
Yeah.
And I think Duncan Ferguson on that sideline with that in his mind would have been thinking, I need to do everything I possibly can here to get a result. And if he sees somebody on the pitch who's not following instructions, and again, we don't know this is the case, but reading between the lines, you get the sense it was. If he sees someone not following instructions, or not putting a shift in, or just not playing well, and he feels as though that person is jeopardising his chance of getting a result, which is top of his things to do at this football club, then I don't blame him. That is the call. It's the call. It's got to be made, and whether you think Keane's performance warranted that or not, he's the boss, and he's seen that, and he's made the call, which I don't have a problem with. But ultimately, I think this sort of thing now, and the situation we're in, where we are living hand to mouth for points, results do come at the cost of everything else. When you're in that sort of situation, these things happen. We saw it with Ademola Lookman and Nikola Vlasic with Sam Allardyce. It was very much a case of results first. Never mind the development of these young lads. We need to make sure we're getting points on the board, and they fell through the cracks. And Moise Keane hasn't fallen through the cracks yet. He might not fall through the cracks. He might respond from this and go on to be really good. But it feels to me as though it's probably pushed him a little bit closer towards the exit door. He will be thinking today, what am I doing at this football club ultimately? And that's what happens when you've got mismanagement, when you've got muddled transfer strategy. And, you know, just to finish off on this, Paddy wrote a piece for The Athletic saying that Keane wasn't on Marco Silva's
I saw that,
transfer list. And when you've got a muddled strategy like that, when you've got a mind just sacked off you through the season, when you're changing tactics and you're changing your blueprints week after week, these things happen. Players slip through the cracks, and they are ultimately the collateral of this pretty shoddy situation we find ourselves in, I think.
Yeah, well, there has been that whole sort of thought process behind the signing of Keane, that we were there for Mandzukic, and he was just sort of on offer, and it was like, well, hang on, we can't turn him down. And that's kind of how the transfer came about. It strikes me as similar to Nikola Vlasic, who you mentioned just then. It's like, we played Split, and it was like, oh, actually, he's quite good. And they're like, well, yeah, you can sign him if you want to. All right, then, we'll have him, but you can't turn it down. And that's not the basis for a good sort of transfer anyway, really. But I think the worrying thing for me is it's players like that, like you say, Lookman and Vlasic. The club don't seem to be in any position to develop them. Tom Davies is still coming through, so you can't say it's a blanket thing about young players, because Tom Davies is coming through, Calvert-Lewin's coming through.
But even they've had the developments.
But they've had the hiccups through the change in the managers and stuff like that. So I think that's the worrying thing for me, because we've always been a club that has been able to either bring on players into the team or bring them on and sell them on. We look like we're just getting to a point with the under-23s and just selling them straight on now and struggling to develop these players, which is a bit of a worry. But as you say, we just need results. You know,
adversity can't. I think Moyes Keane, what he's shown throughout his career, what he's dealt with in Italy, coming in terms of the racism and coming out the other side of that and handling himself that fantastically well. He has played and performed in Juventus teams alongside some fantastic players and got shirked. This lad has shown early in his career that he's got a strong mentality, and like I said, this could be the making of him. Whatever happened, it could be a case of the player and the coach get together today. Maybe Marcel Brands is there. They have a chat about things and they move forward from it. Hopefully, that is what happens. He's shown he's got a strong mentality. And to a degree, you look at people like Calvert-Lewin, who was excellent again yesterday, wasn't he? Tom Davies, who's matured into the team. Mason Holgate, who was just come on again this season. All of those lads have had big setbacks in their Everton career. Maybe not as high profile as this, but I think that's probably because they themselves aren't high profile figures who come from Juventus. But Calvert-Lewin was basically flogged in his first season. Tom Davies has been in and out of the side on the different managers. Holgate was sent out on loan to West Brom. They've all had setbacks, and I think hopefully what we're seeing now with all them three players, they come through the other side of that. And you hope that can happen with Keane. But it was just, I think it was just the actual visual thing of it made it a lot worse than it was. We were saying before we recorded, I think by virtue of the fact that Old Trafford's tunnel was in the corner, and he has to do that long walk from the middle of the dugout all the way down on his own, and he walks slowly, and every step he took, the sense of awkwardness and unease just grew and grew and grew. It's a bit like, this is just not good, and it just felt like getting worse and worse and worse, and it looked bad. But in the same breath, like I said, Duncan Ferguson's job is to get instant results for this team at the moment, and he felt as though Moyes Keane was hindering Everton's chances of getting a result at Old Trafford. He's more than entitled to make that call, because that is ultimately what he's here to do.
Yeah, and just to finish off on this, it probably made it look worse by the fact that Umani Ash came on to replace him. I mean, that didn't do anyone any favours, did it?
No.
But the squad is down. I mean, this is an injury crisis now. This is just ridiculous now. But as you say, there was 12 other lads who played that game there. With Leighton Baines coming on for Luca Dean. I thought he did brilliantly. It's great to see him, isn't it? I mean, as much as we love Luca Dean, to see Baines come on and play like that.
I hope what can happen with Baines is, and this is something Jack Yelp did really well towards the end of his Everton career. You could just parachute him in for a game, and you'd know that he's not a long-term solution. He's not going to play 5-10 games in a row at that point in his career. But you could put him in for one game and he'd be absolutely fine. I always think back to that against United in the semi-final when Martial scored, and he was basically playing on one leg. He had a brilliant game, and you just know you can depend on him. And I think hopefully Baines can be that, but he certainly didn't lose that footballing brain. Just those little passes inside from left back, he always used to do, and seeing them again and a little bit of a link up with Bernard, it was fantastic.
And that corner as well.
Of course,
that was a wicked corner that led to the goal.
When we got that free kick in the second half, I was thinking, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. But I think he put it over the bar, didn't he? But absolutely class out. Made it look easy. When you look at Daniel James and think that is a mismatch in terms of pace, and late in Baines' age, because he burnt off Luke Dean in the first
Yeah,
half.
he did,
Pickford should have come out and got it. I don't know what was going on there, but just an intelligent player, made it look so easy, stepping in at Old Trafford, came off the pitch without a beaver sweat on him or a hair out of place.
Cool.
Yeah, he is that cool, yeah.
I think another thing that's gone under the radar a bit is the fact that Tom Davies lasted the whole game after getting booked in the first 5 minutes. Now, this is something that Idrissa Gueye did a couple of times, I'm not comparing the two here, and it was always testament to Idrissa Gueye in the game that he played, that he could stay on the pitch and not make another foul. Tom Davies made a couple, maybe got away with a couple, but it was good to see him put in a mature performance like that next to Mason Holgate, who I don't think he's ever played in midfield before, and the two of them looked really good. Against the midfield that went to the Emirates last week, and it just a lot of things weirdly fell into place yesterday.
I think the good mates aren't them two, Davies and Holgate, and you just sort of, it looked at times like it was just like there's two mates who, like, I don't know, like I'm not didn't play footy to a high level at all, or walked very to very old at all. But I always remember, like, if you were playing like right back and right wing with your mates, or centre midfield with your mates, or up front with your mates, you'd enjoy it. Like it was a little bit like that. It was sort of like these two lads who know each other really well. It's like me and you out centre midfield. Let's do it. It'll be sound. And they were both great, I think Davies, you're right. I don't think he necessarily had his best game in terms of the way he used the ball or defensively, but what you're looking for in there is just don't get sent off. It was 5 minutes in he got booked. And you are thinking then, bloody hell, you haven't really got any other midfielder on the pitch. He's gonna have a tough job on, but he was brilliant in his maturity, I think, more than anything. Just composed, didn't dive in, knew when to stand back, knew when to maybe try and, when he did give away fouls, they weren't necessarily terrible ones. And a sign of a lad maturing, and he made Holgate's job a bit easier, I think, stepping in there.
Yeah, well, the club have announced today that Duncan Ferguson will be in charge for the Leicester game. Seems like they're just going to do one of these before every game now, probably up until the end of the season. I think those last two results have done him no harm at all, and I think we're all going to be well up for Leicester on Wednesday night. You think about where we were at Anfield after that defeat, thinking about the games we've got coming up. The fact that we've just been beat at Leicester, I don't think anyone was really looking forward to the cup game. It was like, I can't see us getting a result there. But now, after those two results and the way the team are playing, you do feel like you could put that team out again and do something against Leicester. It's going to be a very different game, but the crowd's going to be up for it. I'm going to use the old cliche, good as one of the lights and all that. It is going to be good though, isn't it?
We've got to cherish these. Because, the team in the state it's in now, it's not going to be a side that's going to be challenging for Europe or the Champions, or the Champions League or in the Europa League. If we're going to have big Goodison nights, they're going to come in the cup. And I've probably got 4 or 5 years left at the stadium. We should be thinking about this, and for saying, in terms of cup quarter-finals or big games domestically, they're going to matter at Goodison Park under the lights. There's probably not going to be many left. Like really important ones, and I think. It'd be interesting to see what the side they put out. I'm not sure if they'll. I think they're in a funny place at the moment, aren't they? Where they're probably thinking we can sort of outside challenge for the league, but we're actually sound being in the top 4. So if they look at this game and think we can rest Vardy and a few of the other lads who've played pretty much every game, and one of these maybe keeping pace with Liverpool. I think they play them on Boxing Day, don't they? Or whether they think what, top 4's fine for us. Let's play our full strength side here and rest lads for the weekend, whoever they've got after that. I think they've got City actually, haven't they?
I think
they've got City away after, so it wouldn't surprise me if Vardy was on the bench, maybe someone like Tielemans was on the bench, and they changed it around a little bit, but it could be interesting to see what side we play.
Well, yeah, exactly.
we got 11 players.
I don't know. That's it. It's hard to know.
Tell you what, if Moise Keane doesn't get on the bench on Wednesday for all the lads we can out, then there's a real issue there.
That's when there's an issue. But it's good to have everyone sort of pulling in the same direction now. Although there were some dissenting voices about what happened with Keane. I feel like they're the same sort of people who, every time Duncan Ferguson got sent off, it was like, right, that's it, he should never wear the shirt again. That's all a knee-jerk reaction again. Where do you think this leaves us now, regards to the manager? Because today the talk is about Ancelotti. He's the #1 target. It seems weird, and we were saying before, it seems weird that we're not 100% thinking Ancelotti, world-class manager, proper league manager, do what you can to get him in. He doesn't seem an ideal fit, which sounds mad because he's won loads. But I don't know. I think people have said he's the sort of manager you get in when you've got a good team to make them better. We're very much not at that stage at the minute.
I think I said in one of our WhatsApp groups, it seems like he's a manager who makes an A team into an A-star team.
That's spot on. Yeah.
We're like a C-level team, being generous at the moment, and really try and get it to be. And I don't know, it is so weird. He doesn't seem like a natural fit, because I think the last time he managed a team that wasn't playing the Champions League was when he was at Parma back in 1999, around that time. Yeah, so it's been a long time. I think his training sessions are renowned for being quite lax. I think he indulges players quite a lot. I don't really know what style of football he's played. At Napoli, he's played 3 at the back at times. He's played 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. So he's been all over the place in that regard. It's a really difficult one. I'd be interested to see how it works.
Yeah.
And I just worry if it's maybe quite a not cushy in the sense it's an easy job for him, but cushy for him in regards to, you know, it's easy for him to walk straight into a job in the Premier League on a good wage after he's been sacked by Napoli. In terms of, you know, the players should be uplifted to play for him because he's a huge figure in the game. He's still only 60, only 60. You know, I think he's been around for so long. You sort of expect he's like
I thought
70.
he was older than that, actually.
He's like 70 odd. Clearly he's got pedigree. Clearly whatever he says will carry a lot of clout. But I feel as though he always surrounds himself with good coaches who are more of a link. I think he'd be more of like a Koeman, like statesman-like sort of figure that doesn't really have much interaction with the players apart from like on a match day.
Then you automatically kind of think, how does that fit in with brands?
But it doesn't, does it?
No, that's what I mean. It just seems taking a step another way. And I think the main worry for me is, you say about his training. I heard last week somewhere that the players noticed the drop off.
It was Raphael Honigstein for when he was at Bayern.
Yeah, he noticed the drop off from Guardiola to when he took over.
Yeah.
Our players, although they've done really well these last 2 games, they've not been the fittest, have they? You know, since from Martinez onwards, it seems like there's been an issue with fitness occasionally. So I don't think that would be a particularly good fit. You kind of think, for me, if we were going to go down that route, we should have done it with Mourinho while he was available. We should have tested the water up the end. I mean, I don't know if we did, but we should have thrown everything at that. And you kind of think, if Ancelotti's prepared to take us on, there's no reason why Mourinho wouldn't. I think that he would have been a better fit if we're going to go down that route.
I think he'd just be like it feels like he'd just be like a steady hand on everything if he came in, and everything would just calm down. We'd probably win the games we usually supposed to win at home. You'd struggle to see us really upsetting anybody. It'd feel like we just sort of coast to the end of the season and finish mid-table. I imagine that's what happened. But I think the issue is now we're all sort of emotionally caught up in this furious style of football. We've got Ferguson beating his chest and singing along with the players and all that kind of thing. And you just sort of you want that to carry on. And I don't know. I'm happy for us to just keep on this sort of emotional wave that we're on the moment for the next few games. I think the results recently have sort of bought Ferguson obviously a lot of time, bought the club a lot of time, and there's no reason to sort of rush into a decision. But it's going to be interesting because, you know, those players, they've had Silva, and they've had Ferguson come in and just sort of whip everybody up into a bit of a frenzy, and then Carlo Ancelotti was just doing things completely differently, wasn't he? He'd just be a steady and calm influence on things. So it'll be a massive diversion for what we're doing now, what we're seeing now, and the way everything are getting results now. But you know, in the same breath, you can't really argue with his record. But like you said, it just does feel like a bit of a weird fit.
I think we said when Ferguson got the job, I think it was after the Chelsea game actually, we said, that game was brilliant. Let's just have that in isolation. We don't want to do what Man United did with Solskjaer, but it's really difficult not to get caught up in it, isn't it? Because it's like, we do feel like, this is what it's meant to be like, and it's really difficult not to get caught up in that.
I mean, we'd have no players left by the end of the season. They'll be injured or probably sent off, wouldn't they, I imagine.
Do you reckon he's just been battering those players who are injured? Do you think they're not pulling their weight in training, so we just lamped them so they're out for that game?
Another
interesting one is that Marcelino's not been accounted for, has he?
He's still lost in London.
In London, He's
probably just went out on Saturday night, not come home yet. Man, this is trying to find
He's living in Camden Lock now in a bed sit.
Camden Lock is. I reckon that best 2 places in the world to go and have a bevy are Camden Lock and when I went to Sydney, the Opera House down by there.
Yeah,
they're my
it's down there, isn't it? Yeah.
two favourite places in the world to go and have a pint.
I can recommend both myself.
Yeah, you've been both as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know your favourite
Up the
places.
international Toffees.
Let us know the best place in the world to have a berry.
Yeah.
Camden Lock in the summer. You know, all those bars overlooking
God,
it, people sitting off on the lock and all that. Absolutely class place for a pint. Yeah.
Almost as good as County Road. Where we'll be on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we're doing a live video.
Yeah, we're going to try and do a live video, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Remember to subscribe if you haven't done already. Tell your mates, your mum, your dad, and all your aunties, of course, to subscribe as well. We want to try and hit 1,000, don't we, by New Year?
Well, yeah, I'm sort of, because everything else has been going on recently, we've sort of held off plugging it, but you know, hopefully with the live video and that, we will get there.
Yeah, and if there's anything you want us to do differently, or there's anything we'd like to see, let us
Staying
know
in this
the comments.
location until we lose, by the way.
Oh God, yeah, we're going to have to now.
But my guitar player behind us is bringing us luck.
Yeah, and if anyone's sat here when we come and do a video, we're just going to have to kick them, so we might film that as well. So keep an eye out for that. Could be violence, could be anything.
Could be violence. Okay. There's our title.
I think it will actually, yeah. Yeah, we'll be back before the Leicester game. Up the Toffees.